Valerie Wells and welcome to my studio. Today I was going to show you how to ink and print a linoleum block. This is my most recent block and I am totally in love with it, so I'm excited to show you how I go about doing this process. Okay, so first off we're going to mix ink. I like to mix ink because I usually want a specific color. And I kind of want a red-orange, a little burnt red-orange on here. So I already have my red and my orange down here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of burnt sienna and just see what happens. It's usually my philosophy on mixing inks. Use a palette knife and just, or what do you, spatula, what do you call these things? I don't remember. Anyway, so we're going to mix this ink up. Actually, it looks pretty good. I want that red-orange. I'm going to be printing on some white linen. And the reason I print on linen, well, a couple reasons. One, I love linen and I love the texture of it. Two, I want to embroider on this afterwards and I love the look of embroidered linen. And then also the texture that comes out in the linen when you print is really unique. So you won't get like a solid color. So once I have this like this, I take my roller and I make myself a nice bed of ink. And it takes a little bit first time to load up your roller. But you don't want it too thick, because if you get too thick, then it fills in little crevices that you want, that you cut. Like my feathers on my little birdie. Anyway, so your ink is going to have a nice thin layer. It's on the roller, on here, it's really nice. So now we're going to ink our block. Alright, so when you ink your block, it takes time to ink a block this big. It's 24 inches by 24 inches, so it takes some time. And so you gently start rolling over the ink, over your design. You can see how much less ink, all the ink that came off here. So I gotta load my roller up again. And then I go in there and really make sure I get a nice layer on. And I go in lots of different directions. This, of course, like I said, this is how I learned how to print. Everybody probably has their own technique, or you find what works best for you, but this is the generalized concept of how you roll it. And, you know, different inks work different too. So this is a water-soluble ink. Water and soap and water, but it does stay wet for quite a while because you need it as you're rolling this ink. So I'm going to roll this, and since it takes a while, you might want to go get a sip of coffee, and when you get back I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so you can see she's all inked now, and if you look at it, it's very shiny, and that is what you want it to be. You want it to have a nice little sheen to it. If you can see how it glides like that. But you also there's a fine line between too much ink and too little ink. And too much ink doesn't always mean, more is not always better, I guess I should say. So now I am going to, I have this very scientific way of laying my fabric on the top of this, alright? I line it up here at the bottom. It's actually not very scientific. It's probably the silliest way to do it, but I've just gotten used to doing this. And I just line myself up. Seriously, use my belly to lay it down. I gave myself lots of extra room on this, so I know that I can square it up later. Anyway, so here we have this now. And I put my hands, carefully press out any possible bubbles. And once you do this, don't pick it up or you'll get a little shadow. That'll happen. You can start seeing the design coming through. It's kind of why I did the white, so you could really see. And then you're going to see what happens as I burnish it. So there we go. Now I'm going to move him up a little bit so it's... Okay. This is my little burnisher. Had a little hole in it, so now it has masking tape on it, but it works. Or Baron, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I'm left-handed, so your hand's going to here and you grip it like this. Being short, I have to stay on my tippy toes. And I always start in the middle. These tiny little movements. And this also takes a long time. My calves start cramping sometimes and I have to switch hands. But as you can see, gradually moving my way out. And I don't go fast like that. It's more about doing a little motion to transfer the ink in one area. Pick it up and move it. And then you don't get bubbles. So, again, you might want to go have a cup of coffee, and when you come back, we'll pull the fabric off and you'll see the print. Alright, so I finished burnishing this, or whatever you want to call it. I call it hand burnishing. I may be wrong, but whatever. Okay, so now we're going to pull it off. Are you ready? This is what's exciting. This is the best part. You can see how the linen comes through. And there, let me turn it the right way. Good. That's how you do it when you don't have 3 arms. There we go. That is the block print. Now, this guy, let me tell you, this ink probably take about a week for it to dry completely, and then I will iron it, the hot iron and stuff like that, and then I'm going to embroider and quilt on it and all sorts of fun stuff. So I'll show you that project later. Have a great day.